Ever since 2020, lies, manipulation, and deception have never been so obvious. We're living in times where the amount of information, disinformation, and misinformation available is overwhelming, which makes it even more confusing for those who are really seeking truth in all of this. And what makes it even more confusing is that people seem to have their own definition, oftentimes a very narrow one, of what truth really means. Now, I'm not going to pretend to solve the whole enigma of truth in this one video because philosophers have literally spent their lives trying to understand and define what the truth is. But I'm going to do my best to offer you a deeper explanation of truth. I've been reflecting on this topic for years now, so I think I can add some value to the conversation. But again, I could be wrong. This is just my humble perspective on the topic and no promises here, no guarantees. This is just an attempt to explain it. So let's begin. I like to make the distinction between the truth, the objective one, and our truth that can also be subjective. And I can already hear some of you saying, wait, what? What do you mean our truth? Isn't there supposed to be just one objective truth? I hear your concerns and I used to think the exact same way. So before you judge, all I'm asking you is for you to listen with an open mind until the end because I'm going to be sharing some examples that will hopefully clarify things for you and help you decide for yourself if there is something you can learn out of this or not. Right? So let's begin. The truth, the objective one, or what I like to call big T truth, when we talk about it, the most common definitions that people use to refer to this word, there are two things. One, it's either accurate information, so information that is in accordance with fact or reality. And number two is the objective reality, so the real reality. Now, when we talk about our truth, the small t truth, it can be objective or subjective and is composed of the three following aspects. Number one is our perspective of the truth. Number two is our visceral and sensorial experience of truth. And number three is our actions that create and shape our truth. So let me give you an example for each one of these to make it more clear for you. Let's begin with number one, our perspective of the truth. This is based on the beliefs, the ideas that we hold to be truth, which compose our worldview. This is our subjective interpretation of information and reality. And the example I always like to give with this one is the one of the diamond, right? When we look at a diamond, it has many faces. Now, the whole diamond represents the truth, the objective truth. And our perspective of the truth will be the equivalent of just one face of that diamond. And as human beings, to know the objective truth, the whole diamond, it will imply that we understand all the faces of the diamond. And I don't know who can make that claim, but I certainly can't. Now, moving on to number two, our visceral experience of truth, which is how we directly relate to information and reality through our nervous system and our senses. Let's take, for example, water. The molecule of water is composed of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. We can say that that's truth. Now, what happens if I ask you, are you able to breathe underwater? If you're a human being, then your experience will be that you cannot breathe underwater. But what about a fish? A fish experience would be the complete opposite. And who's right and who's wrong here? The human or the fish? I mean, they're both right within their experience of reality, within their truth, as in how they're experiencing reality through their senses. As for our last one, our actions that create and shape our truth, it's our active role in creating and shaping our own reality. So let's say, for example, that you're out of shape and unhealthy. If you decide to train every day and eat healthy, after a year of consistently doing that, you're going to create a new reality for yourself, the one of a healthy person. However, if you make the poor choices like drinking 2 liters of beer every day and eating a shit ton of junk food with zero physical activity, then after a year you'll most likely become an alcoholic. That's if you don't die before from some type of disease. And that is the reality that you're going to be creating based on your actions. So, as we can see, truth can be internal or external. It can be objective or subjective, individual or collective. It can also be impermanent or permanent in time. Truth is multidimensional, meaning that it's happening at different levels. So, when we talk about the truth in the sense of the most accurate information that exists, we're talking about something so big that no human being can grasp, because it's not one perspective, it's a combination of all perspectives. So we would need to know and understand all the perspectives of all beings combined, not only from our planet but our entire universe, in order to get to the highest possible truth, that one objective truth. And the same goes for when we talk about truth as in the objective reality. In order to get to that reality, we will need to live and experience every single thing that there is to experience through the eyes of every single being, through all dimensions and timelines. And I don't know of any human being that has ever achieved that. Or maybe, and they haven't talked about it. But even if a human being gets to know the whole truth and they talked about it, we wouldn't know unless we experience it ourselves. So until then, we will keep perceiving another person's truth from the filters of our own. Now, what's the point of trying to get to the objective truth, you may say, if we are limited by our subjective beliefs and our personal experiences? The power lies in the intention. If our intention in life is to be as truthful as possible and to embody the qualities of honesty, authenticity, and transparency in everything we do, and always keeping an open mind, putting always truth first, then we're going to align with the highest possible truth that we can embody, which may not be the whole objective truth, but life happens in the process of, not at the final destination. Our whole lives is a process of self-awareness and discovery. See, a marathon is not arriving at the finish line. That's just the last step. The marathon happens in all the other steps you took before that in order to get to that point. One thing is for sure, the more we adopt an attitude of curiosity, flexibility, and openness, the more we allow truth to enter our lives, and the more we discover the truth about ourselves and the world around us, eventually liberating ourselves from a world of lies, manipulation, and deception. I hope this perspective helps you, and let me know if you have any questions about truth or any other perspectives to share. I'll be very open to hear them and learn something from all of you. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. That was it for me, guys. Much love.